What I'm going to do is give you a bit of a brief overview of why we're here, what you're going to hear today, and some of the stuff that's coming up later in the year. OpenChain is very much a community, and we have these rolling series of events. This is one. We're recording this one, so we'll be posting it on the internet. But of course, it's really cool and really key that you are here in the room so we can have a workshop and people can ask questions. I just wanted to say before we started, even though it's a busy schedule, everything stops when it's time to talk and ask questions. It doesn't matter how much time you need and how much time we spend discussing, we drop everything for that. This is totally about community, which means, of course, we'll just leave our final speakers, go home, crying and alone. Right, OpenChain, what is it? OpenChain is a project working on a more trusted supply chain. The idea is to build trust in the supply chain by focusing on process management. So we're really talking about business process management, and our focus is compliance. That means license compliance, security compliance, regulatory compliance, and everything else that might be compliance adjacent. We have built two ISO standards, ISO 5230, which is the international standard for open source license compliance, and ISO 18974, which is the international standard for open source security assurance. These are process management standards. They explain how a company can manage these topics, address inbound process points, internal and outbound process points. So we are basically part of a jigsaw puzzle, working with sister projects like SPDX and OpenSSF. We are part of how companies manage open source. Everything we do is about this mission. So you'll see a lot of activity from OpenChain. In fact, Hillary, head of research at LF, said to me this morning, "You're lighting up LinkedIn." We post a lot. We have a lot going on. And today we have the same. We have a pretty busy schedule because we have some really important things to tell you. One example is that we are really into AI. So we've done a lot of stuff on AI in the last 19 months. In fact, yesterday, we got board approval for releasing a guide to process management for businesses around AI compliance matters. Okay, so it's quite a substantial release we have coming this year. We've been doing a lot on SBOMs. People talk about SBOMs a lot. They talk about formats. They talk about requirements like NTIA. Hey, Carl, how are you doing? We are interested in SBOMs, especially because of regulations coming out. The NTIA minimum requirements are important. The CRA is important. What we care about is how do businesses determine what is a quality SBOM? What meets my requirements for compliance and regulation? Our telco work group answered that question, and our chair of it just came in, Mark Yatton, he's right here. This guy has done something special. The Telco SBOM Quality Guide has gone far beyond telco. In fact, we see companies like ByteDance releasing extensive schemas and case studies about how they, as a hyperscaling internet company, use that. So we've been thinking about that, and Kubota-san, who leads our SBOM study group, super cool guy, works crazy hard. We do emails at like 1:30 a.m. It's nuts. He's been looking at, when you take the telco guide, what kind of scaffolding can you put around it for cross-industry use to help guide people on that use case? And that's something that'll be coming soon. Yesterday, we also had approval for our study group to turn into a work group. So before the end of the year, you'll see exciting stuff. Finally, automotive. And we have Endo-san right there. He's the chair of the automotive work group. Automotive has been one of the key parts of OpenChain for a long time. And people like Nicole, who's right here at the front, have been really involved in the type of process-heavy extremely accurate regulation needed for a field like this. OpenChain, of course, benefits from this. Hey, how you doing, man? It's been a while. And today we're going to talk about automotive SBOMs. Watanabe-san, who's the chair of, right in the corner there, the chair of the Japan planning subgroup, so she leads a lot of the activities in Japan, is going to talk about automotive SBOMs and what they mean. And then, of course, our favorite thing, well, one of, tooling. We are very fortunate to have Helio, who's our board member from Cariad, and an old-time open source guy, just like me. We've been in the field for decades. He's going to talk about tooling developments. Okie dokie. Now, that's not the only stuff that's going on, because in a few months we have the Open Compliance Summit. And I just wanted to tell you this, because this mini-summit is the last big inflection point for compliance until then. And at that moment, we wrap up the year and look at the year ahead. This event, we had a 91% increase in submissions. So, I really had to look at the submissions, and program committee has to look at them and make some really challenging choices. In 2 days, we and they have to fit in a lot. And that's a good indication of how important compliance is to everyone right now. If you can, go there. If you have staff near Japan, go there. You'll find us, the Japan Work Group, I'm a resident, very welcoming. And just so you know, in Japan we have two very important things apart from our work. Kubota-san runs the onsen study group, and Shima-san, Shima-san, who's not in the room, I think runs the beer study group. None of those have board approval, they just did it. All right, we're going to get started, and I'm going to hand over to our speakers.